just bugging. Alright guys, here we got the Brazilian case that I'm going to replace. Basically, I'm putting a new motor in the 72. As you heard before, that I decided to open it up, sweet it, and rebuild it, and thank God I did. The case was pretty much just bandaged to reuse it. You know, they had some studs. I mean, it could be repaired later, but it was just a lot more work than I want to do, and that car has to be in, you know, excellent shape for the price I sold it for. So I definitely want a good, reliable motor. So I bought another case. This is new stock. It was just sitting in dry storage for many years. So it's dirty. It's never been fired up. So I'm gonna be cleaning all this white residue off. You know, that's like the corrosion, like rust is on steel. This is the magnesium, you know, residue on it, some sort. Well, I'm gonna clean all that out. Get my Dremel set up here. Get all my pieces, and I got some new parts in for it. Of course, I'm not putting the adjustables on. I'll save them for a refresh, the ones that were on it, and put the stainless steel push rod tubes on it. I got all my bearings here. The crank was in great shape. It was a forged steel, so that's a good crank. The jugs, pistons, everything was in great condition. It's just basically the case, and then the heads, they could be salvaged for, you know, something like a rat rod or something like that. I'll use that. I'll put that motor together with something else one day, but not something like this. This has to be grade A in my beliefs. So I just ordered 2 brand new heads yesterday instead of messing with those heads. So she's basically going to have a brand new motor, and so I'm gonna get it all cleaned up and get it ready for Mike, and all the parts should be here no later than May 6th, so we'll send this over there. I did get the front fenders painted. I'm gonna cut and buff them when they're on the car. Got the hood here, I'm about to repaint that. And I got to work the rear fenders, got them all primed and ready for a wet sand and then seal and paint. So I'm just waiting for good weather. As you can tell, it's really raining bad out here today. So I'm gonna get on with this. All right guys, we got the inside really nice and clean. I got this side nice and clean, got all that white residue out of there. Looks really nice. Yeah. See, you can tell this has never had anything in it. It's never ran, never been turned. It's just stock new. So I'm gonna do some more on the outside, and then I'll get over and get the white stuff all off of this one. So that's where I'm at. Okay guys, this is Michael, and getting ready to do the final clean on 72 Beetle for just bug-in. Brand new case. Greg cleaned it some, I cleaned it some, and doing the final clean on it now. And some degreaser cleaner. It's pretty clean already, but we want to make sure it's clean. So I'm getting ready to just soak just a little bit, and then we're going to pressure wash it. 3,600 pounds of pressure, and we'll blow it clean and mount it up on the engine stand and start assembling. I'll have videos on that as well. All right guys, just got done pressure washing the case, and getting ready to blow it dry and do some rust prevention on it, on the studs and the metal part of it, and then mount it up on the engine stand, and we'll take it step at a time. It looks pretty good. Brand new AS41 case, Brazilian. It's going to be a sweet motor, real sweet. The rod's marked number 3. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. This rod goes and came off of this number 3 journal.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you put it back so it has the same wearing?
Well, I put it back because it was like that to begin with. It didn't have any issues. There's the old bearings that came out of it. It's got little scars in it and stuff. Push comes and shove. Some rebuilders, all these bearings are I want to put it back in there. I don't do that. You put the crankshaft back in the same place it came off, especially if you have a 100,000 mile Volkswagen right out of Germany. That crankshaft is still good and knocked out tolerance-wise. That crankshaft and those rods are balanced right there. You want to try to put those right back into the same place. We talked about the flywheel a while ago, right? You see anything on this crankshaft to give you the same, especially that light flywheel. they had to rebalance it, right?
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean.
See here? And see over here? There's 1, 2 over here. They chalk it up on a machine, spin it, have a strobe light coming on it. Oh, gotta take a little bit off here, gotta take a little bit off here. These are balance drills.
Okay.
Like so, push down. You always want to take a real good look at it, because even though they're brand new bearings, might have been made on a Monday morning or a Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You always eyeball it, you always check it. Goes right in the notch like so. The positioning of the crankshaft's got to be a certain way. See this notch here?
Yes.
Alright, you got the keyways. These are for the pulley and distributor drive and cam gear. That's a cam gear and distributor drive. They slide onto here. You have your cam gear and distributor drive set straight up. You have it set just like this. You see the cogs right down here. These are cogs where they're on the bottom. Alright, now if you didn't have this mark here, these always go down towards the camshaft. Always towards the camshaft. Earl's a good guy. Always liked Earl. Put your little Earl on here. I'm going to go through it one more time. Also, you got numbers here. I forgot to tell you. 1, 2, 3, 4 in position.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
Okay.
So when I disassembled the motor, I marked it with a magic marker.
Oh, and that's saying like where.
Right. It's not it.
Okay.
You see the numbers here? 215, 215.
Yeah.
They're a matching pair. When we made the rod, we machined it out and resized it.
Yeah.
And usually the numbers go to the top, bottom. Okay. Number to number, cog, down. Now it's right. Okay. You better watch me. I usually get around Dalton, I get messed up.
So number to number, and then the cogs need to be like kind of opposite of each other.
Cogs opposite each other, facing the camshaft. Camshaft will be set down here in the block, right?
Yeah.
So now I just got a whole bunch of oil on that by taking my time and letting you watch. Loctite activates with lack of oxygen. Take the oxygen away and what locks it into place. But if you have oil there, you can't lock up. So you're going to see what I'm going to do here in a second. Loctite doesn't heat to oil. This is the new Mineski torque. Whatever I feel right there, you see how it feels nice and loose still and everything? Now if it ever tightened up, that could be an issue. Ooh, I like that, I like that. When it comes over twice, again, like that, this is going to be an awesome motor.
Yeah.
Because Josh had something with that thing, well, I'm not sure. When you get them spin a couple times over like that, that's a piece of hunting pie. We're going down for the final truck. Okay.
That's nice.
Piece of pumpkin pie there. Piece of pumpkin pie there. So 2, 4, 1.
3.
Go to number 4. No, this go to number 1. We got number 2 cylinder. Number 2 cylinder. Of course, you can't see it in the block. You'll see it in the block when you set it in there. This goes to number 2 cylinder. This will go to number 4, even though it's marked 1, 2 on the crank. I'm marking 1, 2, 3, 4 on the crank. But when it goes to cylinder,
Oh, the numbers are just
2,
where the crank. Okay.
3. It's just where it's positioned on the crank.
Doesn't have anything to do
All right,
with
there'll be a test on that later for sure. Okay, that's a good question. Piece of punk. Ooh, I like that. Look at that. No friction.
Look at the flick of the wrist.
No friction. The rods are not done yet. Because why? We gotta
Ping it.
ping it.
Okay.
All right. Piece of pumpkin pie. Go towards the flywheel. After you set the crankshaft down in there, you need to remember that's pretty important. Because if they're not in the hole and you put the case together and it's sticking out, you're going to crush the dowel pin that's in the block. You'll see that, and it's not a good thing. Okay, moving right along here. This is a distributor drive. You have to take a puller to hook onto it to pull it off. Okay, to put it back on there, you got to heat it up in oil. And this is the distributor drive. It actually turns the drive that turns the distributor. If you look right here, it's made out of brass. Somebody's got some rough teeth. See how rough that is? They're about $35 if you bought one new. I got a few extra. That's got to be replaced. All right. Mr. Greg, I'm going to give you this distributor drive because it's the kind of person I am. I'll just give it to you. I also have to give you a lifter and a push rod too. It's push rods because I'm just a nice guy. If we put the gear on, we can't put the bearing on it. Remember number 2 bearing I just showed you?
Okay.
That's got to be on there before I
okay.
see the gear would go up against that.
Yeah, you couldn't put that on.
You couldn't put that on. And believe me, back in the day, I had to pull that gear off several times because duh. Sit in. So you gotta go ahead and just put your second main bearing on it. Internal hardware, and here's these little dowel pins. 5 of them all together. 4 of them goes in this half, and 1 goes in the center half of that one. Carefully drop these in here, like so. Brand new case, you'll have these issues with tolerances are really tight. The used case, these would drop right in. Alright, so that pin, notice is towards what?
The crankshaft. Or, yeah. The gear?
What goes on here? Crankshaft second here.
Gear?
Flywheel.
Flywheel.
Oh.
And then clutch.
Flywheel.
First
Alright.
plate knife.
So what you do, you got to set it down here and sort of turn the bearing until it drops into place just like that. But the thing here is, a lot of times this is where this bearing gets its oil from. This fills up with oil and feeds out through here and lubricates the crankshaft on the outside of the bearing. But what happens is, if this groove here is offset a little bit, it's not getting the full effect of that oil. And I'm not going to do it now because of time concerns. But I would take, you see what I'm talking about? This groove, not in line, fully in alignment with that. So what you can do is take your Dremel tool and open up the area where it's offset one side or the other on the bearing here, where the oil will not be hitting here, but be opened up and more oil flow to come through. See what I'm talking about? Here might be setting off this side here a little bit, and or on this side. And what you do is take your little Dremel tool and grind it out a little bit, open it up where you get the full force of that hole going into the oil groove on the bearing. All these bearings, this bearing here towards the flywheel, The half shells go in the other half, and the 1/2 towards the flywheel. Those are self-explanatory because of the thing. All right, we got this on. I want to put a little bit more Earl. Let's see what we got cooking over here. This is called a camshaft gear. It actually drives the camshaft. All right, the camshaft has a dot on it also. But to be able to see that dot, you would have to have the 2 dots on this, which are right there, facing which way? Out, right, because you couldn't see it up against it. So you got it right here, right? So it'd have to be facing outward.
Okay.
Dot.
Yep.
Got to go right in between the 2 of them. Okay. See it?
Okay, yeah.
It's for your cam timing, timing the motor, and everything else. It's got to go right in there. Need a bit more Earl. This is the oil pump that came off of it. It's a Shadak or whatever, how you pronounce it. It's a 30 millimeter gear and everything else. It goes in like this. That drives the oil pump. It goes right in front of the camshaft. You see it, and the motor goes right in front there. Okay, and you can tell how much wear it's got, how much where the camshaft's turning it right here. Very little wear right there. And I said, that's a good oil pump. No, nothing wrong with that oil pump and everything else. And that's what I told your dad. It's a perfectly good oil pump. Well, it's a perfectly good oil pump. It's not even a perfectly good oil pump for the motor that it came out of, because the difference is, notice that hole. This is the oil pump I had your dad order. It's the same brand, Shadak. We got a brand new late model case now, Brazilian case. You see anything different there?
Oh, it's bigger.
Yeah, it looks thicker.
Thicker. It's larger. And this is the old pickup on the sump. See how much smaller that hole is to this hole? I said, no, Greg, we can't use that. Well, he can use this for something else, you know. But see how bigger that hole is? On the other side, hole's a little bigger as well. You see it?
Oh yeah.
And that's the difference why, you know. He told me, I thought you said the oil pump was fine. I said, it is fine. For the right case, you got a brand new case. And that was the difference. Not gonna make it. We don't leave it in there very long. Oil's good and hot. We take it out shortly. Having an issue. There's a burr on it. Whip it around, double check, make sure where it's at, right on. It has an oil slinger. It literally slings the oil away from coming out, and you'll see how it works there. Now we're going to go and start preparing the half of the block that's on there for setting that in there. I use this part of the hammer more than I use that part of the hammer. When you don't hear anything move, you hear a little bit of movement there, you know you got it down. Can't. Okay. Other half of the case comes down there and seats. You see in the addition, it seats right onto that. And you try to put those in before you drop a crankshaft in it, because the crankshaft's in your way, of course. This is the bottom of the motor. When you turn it over, the motor sets like that. Okay, the other half will be connected to it. Okay, see how it sets? All right. Yeah, that feels a whole lot better. I sort of like to have the crankshaft turn where the counterweights, these are counterweights, are facing up. All right, I like to set the rear bearing first, and what you do is you pick up on it and you turn it, and it's way out of whack. You turn it until you feel it hit the pin, and it drops it down in the hole. See, I'm over the hole, but it's not dropped in because look at this. This dowel pin's way up. It's holding the crankshaft up. The bearing's actually holding it up. So we come up here in front. This one can't turn at all. Take and lift up on the bearing a little bit, on the crankshaft a little bit, and you turn it. You take your other half of your middle main bearing, set it down in there. Okay. And just think that doing 3,000 RPMs and the motor we did Saturday, you saw, I cranked it up to 3,500 RPM. That time that you were there, 3,500 RPMs, going around 3,500 times per minute.
It's ridiculous.
Fine. Okay, I like that. A piece of pumpkin pie. It's got this thrust on each side. The camshaft rides in here and gives you the right amount of end play on each side. You'll see that here when I set it up. This simply goes right down in here. Now we got this one here. It's a little bit bigger, and you got one bigger. You got some bigger than the others, but it looks like this one's bigger than that one, right? I think we could turn around and slide that one. See the cog? That locks it in place. You'll find a cog. You'll find a cog on the other side, I believe. Pop it down into place, and we got two small ones, and it looks like it might go in the end, doesn't it? Okay, you gotta have a dot here. Where's this dot go?
Right in between both of those.
Right in between both of those. Okay, so we take it, we slide it right there, that's right in between it, and let it slide down, even though it's not there now. Alright, the push rod, I'm putting it through the other side there. Oil is fed through the orifices down through here. Goes into the push rod and lubricates the side of it, but also pushes the oil out to the rocker arms. Right here. What happens is oil comes in through here, and all the way oil gets to here is through movement up and down of the push rod. That's where the oil comes out going into the rim. Of course, make sure you have them good clean. Pump a little bit of oil in it. See how it come out real quick. Rub it around. All right, put it down there and make sure it goes down there nice and good. as long as it spins. Okay, it's got to spin, and that spins preferably everything else in the valve train going up to the valve itself. So, and you're going to drip some, which is okay. It's no big deal. I usually put a little bit too much in. Brand new case tolerances are really close. Just right on top of this on the cam globes. There, of course, we're going to lay it down. Okay. If the gear of the camshaft and the gear of the crankshaft, if it's not meshed right, if in other words it's not set, the camshaft would pop up. Okay, and this looks fine. It's not popping up in any direction or whatever. And of course, when you have the push rod in and the valve springs and everything else, that's what pushes that lifter up against the cam lobe. And it actually operates two separate cylinders. Like this would operate intake on number 4 cylinder, and it would operate the intake on number 2 cylinder. Because you'll see when it sets down there, the lifters will wind up right on top of that. So. Look for those 2 dots. What we want to do is,
you're there.
Does dot messed with it?
It's not inside, but they are lined up, yeah.
The dot's inside the center? Let's see. Is it a little bit more?
Right there.
Right there it is? It's right there. Okay. So it didn't jump out or nothing. It didn't move.
No.
So we're there. Okay. Or push. That's right. That's even better.
That's fine.
What you want to do is run your, if you got it, feel it coming up. You feel that groove, take your nail and run across there.
Yeah.
Feel that?
Hit
so
it.
Very lightly tap it. Lightly tap it. Yeah.
Same with...
Can't feel it now. Can you feel it on this side?
A little bit, yeah.
Alright, what you want to do with this side is just...
This one goes right here.
Why?
Middle one.
Why does it go there?
Because the cog lines up.
The cog lines up and it's smaller than what?
And this one.
Smaller
the other one.
Right, the other one, right.
This one's still coming up, isn't it? Oh, I saw it go down.
It went down, but it brought this side up too. If you need help, let me know. You want to take the end of the neoprene hammer, and you run your finger across it. Okay, that's installed. Cam cap, and it goes right down in here. It's a brand new one. Your dad ordered it, and it goes right down in there instead of a metal one. You've seen those Lucas displays where the 2 gears there and they take that Lucas thick stuff. You see, there's no seal on the front of it. It's the bearing here. But if oil gets in there, it slings it up and out and over and lubricates these gears here and this gear here. Oil slinger, it's called. You see that I have this assembly lube down on the lifters,
Yep.
on the camshaft itself. We're getting ready to seal this puppy up, guys. And what you gotta have your rods sticking straight up, and I try to have the crankshaft in position. Let's check that one spot again. Tell me about it now. Back up?
Back, yeah, go back a little bit. There, right there. Oh,
It's there?
yeah, it's there. It's
Dot within 2 dots.
It was. There it is.
All right, there we go. We're there. We have no qualms about that, do we? We know it's timed right. All of a sudden. All right, here we go.
Hey.
That's a piece of pumpkin pie when it does it like that.
Hey guys, it's Dalton. Thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for part 2, which will be uploaded at the same time as this video is uploaded. If you guys liked the video, then hit the like button, comment down below, subscribe, and have a just bugging of a day. Oh, and by the way, once again, we got merch. Check the link down below.